is one of the founding members, one of the founders actually, and one of the lyricists for the goth legendary band that was formed in 1986 from Columbus, Ohio, The Wake. I got Troy Payne. Thank you, Troy.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate this. It's such an honor to have you on the show.
Ah,
I was so excited when I saw that you guys have a new album, last year when it came out in Halloween. Is it Halloween? Came out in Halloween.
yeah, the day after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I was really excited to know about that because I haven't heard from The Wake in a while, and I'm like, oh my God, they're back. And then when I listened to it, I was like, oh my God, it brings back a lot of memories. It has
Mhm.
that style that I've always loved,
Mhm.
and I know it's been 25 years since, and I'm sure many people would say, I guess everybody's busy, everybody's been out and about, um, well, what struck the creating this kind of coming back and making a new album?
Well, it was something that was been in the works for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
And everything just finally came together so that we could actually do it. But it was not spontaneous by any means. We had been working on it for quite some time.
Yeah, yeah, because I know two of the songs. I think Emily Closer and Rusted, that
Right.
they were previous back in 2010 and 2014, right?
Right.
In fact, you have a mix there with John Fryer and Rusted, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Right.
all the others are new except this one, right? These two.
Right. Well, new or they've never been released. So
Oh.
a couple of the songs, well, I guess they're new to everyone except for maybe the band. There were songs that we never recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So a few of them were older songs that we reworked that were never recorded.
So I wanted to go back in time, like just a little bit about how you guys formed. Now I know that you are one of the founding members. I know this.
Right.
I think the other was founded by Richard Witherspoon, right? I know you guys were
Right.
in high school. Yeah, that goes way back. Yeah.
Yep.
How did you guys started The Wake?
Yeah, Rich and I met in high school. He was a year ahead of me, and we just connected, and we both sort of were into the same kind of music and the same things, and we knew what we wanted to do, and we just started playing together. He was already really an accomplished guitar player at that point. And I actually started out, I wanted to be a guitar player as well. But as we went along, we needed a singer. And so I was like, sure, I'll try. So I sort of became the singer that way. It wasn't something that I started out to do.
And then were you guys like singing in the clubs a long time ago?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We started out here in Columbus, and then eventually started to branch out to Cleveland and then to Chicago and New York, and did regional stuff for a while. And then eventually, after we got our record deal with Cleopatra, then we started doing national tours.
So how did you guys collaborate with? How did you guys collaborate with Cleopatra Records? How did that happen?
It's an interesting story, I guess, or I don't know. There was a DJ in New York City who was a fan, and he had the ear of the owner of Cleopatra Records, and he was like, hey, you should check these guys out. And he did, and he liked what he heard, I guess. So that's the way that happened. So we owe Patrick some lots of thanks for that. We've thanked him many times over the years, but that was largely his doing.
And then all the guys in the band. I know there was James and Daniel and the drummer. And how did they come on board? Just
Rich and I actually met James at a Jesus and Mary Chain concert. We were looking for a bass player at the time, and James had on some really cool boots, and I thought, just for the heck of it, I'm going to ask him if he plays bass, and he did. So,
I mean, that's a lot. That's the start of friendships, you know, when you notice
right,
somebody's shoes and things. No, really, it is. Especially when
sure,
you go to a club and you go, "Hey,
yeah,
I like your shoes."
yeah,
All of a sudden, you become good friends because you have that similarities.
right.
Yeah. So the current lineup now, is it the same current lineup, or there's some added people?
Yeah, it's basically the core group that we started with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, the 94 lineup, 93, 94 lineup, basically. We are missing the keyboard player from that lineup, but everyone else is the same.
Okay. And so this album came out in like last year Halloween. It's called
Right.
Perfumes and Fripperies.
Hmm.
And is there, you know, I love the title. Is there a story behind that?
Yeah. Uh, so I just liked the word, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
fripperies, and it's sort of a throwback word. And I think I've said before, but it was sort of I thought of the record as sort of a collection of things, and um, I guess the song really, Perfumes and Fripperies, came first. And
Oh yeah. Yeah, great song.
oh, thank you. So that was sort of just a collection of things, and the idea that I guess that in life, not all things last,
Mm-hmm. That's
and
true.
especially some of the sweeter things maybe that you associate with your youth and different things like that. And that's where that title sort of came from.
So are most of the songs in there? I know you guys yeah, I mean there are other songwriters, right? I mean I know you're one of them and you're all like you all contribute, right? To
Yeah, for the most part, on this record, I would say it was probably um, in thirds, with me writing a third of the material, Rich writing a third, and then full band third. So
and this album has 11 tracks on it. And is that correct? There's 11 tracks.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
with including the bonus track.
Oh,
Yeah,
the bonus track is that Rusted?
yeah, that's the Hertz Healer mix
Oh,
with
okay. Oh,
Caroline
okay. Yeah.
Blind. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, yeah, I see that. Okay.
yep,
And
yep.
you know, one of the songs I believe is called Everything.
Hmm.
That's you included there. That's David Wolfenden, right?
Right, yeah.
From Red Rory, Yellow Rory. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, how did you get him to be a part of that song?
Rich was actually collaborating with him on some other stuff, and Rich was a huge Laurie's fan, and he had just reached out to David on a whim to see, if he was interested. So that was really cool.
Yeah,
So I
that's
mean, the whole band is Laurie's fan, but Rich was the hardcore fan.
yeah. No, that song's a little more personal, right? That song.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Lyrically, yeah, it was about my dad and
Mhm.
his death. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that song. I played it, in fact, yeah, yesterday, the other day.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
I didn't know who Wolfie was at first,
Uh-huh.
but now that I do, I'm gonna be sure to do a shout out to him next time I play it.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, I was just like, oh, I wasn't thinking.
Right.
Uh, what about the other tracks there? What is Rusted about?
Hmm. Well, let's see.
Because yeah, I mean, yeah, I know
Uh,
you.
I guess it's sort of, all these things are sort of in similar veins or similar themes, but um, Rusted is sort of the same thing. Basically, feeling
Mhm.
the effects of time and what it does to your body and just your psyche, and just the effect of that experience over life is really what I guess the boiled down version of what Rusted is.
And I know there's a remix version of by John Fryer, the legendary
Mhm.
producer. How'd you guys get him to do a remix on that one?
Same kind of thing. We just reached out to him. We were big This Mortal Coil fans and
Mhm.
Cocteau
Yeah.
Twins, and reached out to him.
Yeah. So do you guys have any I know it's kind of too early to say there's any live shows as everything is just opening up.
Right.
Do you guys have any I'm sure you guys have some plans in the future. Do you guys miss live shows? Because I know you guys did a lot of live shows back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, definitely we did a ton. And there's been a huge span of time where we've done none. So it's difficult to get that machine going again.
Yeah.
But we're working on it and we're looking forward to it. We did have to reschedule all of our
Oh
European
yeah, yeah.
dates 2 times now. So hopefully the third time will be a charm.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, I know back in the day in the early 90s, late 80s, we didn't have the internet, right? So
Hmm.
but if you look at it now, it seems to be easier now to promote your music with all the social media sites. Well,
Hmm.
what was it like for you guys back then, when there was no internet? Like then you guys were traveling to Europe and everywhere.
Yeah, entirely different thing. But I mean, we didn't even have cell phones on our first,
Yeah.
tours.
Exactly. Yeah.
There was no GPS, there were no cell phones, of course, no internet. Um, then, the later tours, the internet was around, but not in the same way that it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Totally not the same creature as it is. So yeah, it was different, and it was a lot. You were calling the promoter when you got close, to the
Oh
city,
yeah.
and they were giving you directions. You're on the payphone somewhere,
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah.
getting directions to the club, which not everyone is great at giving directions. So that always, was an adventure.
I
Um,
know. Such amazing. It's so amazing now. Everything is different. Everybody just knows how to
yeah,
get somewhere. And you
sure,
even know what the place looks like before you even get there.
right,
Yeah, but
yeah,
I could imagine, being like young back in the early days, you're just
mm-hmm,
starting out in music and you're like, oh my God, I gotta call this person. People
mm-hmm,
email. I mean, we still email, of course,
sure,
but
yeah,
no phone. That's why I'm just saying you can't, now everybody promotes things through the internet,
yeah.
Facebook and social media. But back then, people had posters and all
Right.
these
Yeah.
things.
It was posters, and I mean, once we were signed to the label,
Oh yeah, the
we
label.
were sort of dependent on them to get the promotional stuff out to wherever we were playing, or to promote the albums, also. But yeah, before the label, it was definitely difficult to get your name out there, and really, it was only fanzines and
Oh yeah, they
music.
had those. Yeah.
Um,
So your earlier album, the first one, Mask from
mm,
1993, came out, right?
right.
Is there like a particular track that you like there that I guess that opened up the doors for the Wake?
Hmm. Well, the track that opened the doors probably was Sideshow, because that was, um, I believe, the song that Brian from Cleopatra was a fan of. So I guess that was probably the big song. Nazarene, of course, has probably been the
Yeah.
most popular from that record,
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing. Um, I mean, I like almost all the songs on that record, and it was really kind of a collection of singles. And um, that was another one that we'd really been working on in pieces for a long time before we got to put it all together as an album.
Is there now that with the new album, Perfumes and Fripperies, is there a
Mhm.
particular song the particular track you like there the most?
Hmm. I think, well, it's different, like listening and playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, um, I would say, well, I'll just give you a couple of the Hammer Hall for one.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I love to listen to that song. That's been one of my favorites, which is funny because I started out hating that song initially. That was
Yeah.
one that was a song that um, we actually recorded a version of that song way back in the day, and
Hmm.
I hated it. It was awful. And we never released it. In fact, it sat on the reel to reel in our
Real
uh,
to real.
yeah,
Wow. Like those
um,
real,
right.
those. Oh wow. Yeah.
It sat in our van. It never, when we came home from the studio, it stayed in the van, and it like, you know, got cooked in there and everything, because I hated it. It never came out of the van initially. But James actually suggested that we rework that song, and in doing so, it actually became one of my favorites. After, I mean, I completely changed the lyrics and the melody and stuff,
Oh. So
and it
so you
actually
guys
became my
actually
favorite.
so you guys actually have another version to that song then with a
Yes,
different.
and I hope
Yeah.
no one ever hears it.
Hey, you never know. You know, sometimes those things come out later and people really like it
Yeah.
because there it's like you know, it was like the early days.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely early days, but it's awful. So trust me, you don't want to hear that one.
You know, the name of your band, The Wake. I mean, I
Mhm.
can kind of guess what The Wake is, and I know that if you, I was looking it up, and I know it's about it also is defined as a watch.
Mhm.
When when the dead when after they pass, it's
Right.
kind of like it's a part is that moment in time. I mean, is that what the name of the band came from?
Yeah, I mean, basically, that was the idea. Yeah.
Wow, it's a great name. It's a great name too.
Yeah.
So do you feel that this new album, do you like, are you happy with it? With the new album?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are always things, especially as time goes by, that you listen to and you wish that you could tweak a little, or maybe that
Yeah.
you had done a little differently. But as a whole, I'm pleased with it. Definitely.
Well,
Um,
it certainly is a really good comeback, and I'm really excited for it. I've been playing some of the songs,
great.
and now that I know a little bit more about it, after
Hmm.
speaking with you,
Hmm.
I can say a little bit more. Yeah, and then I know you're gonna have some live shows coming up, and you got, what about videos? I know you have, was it two already released or more? Is it more than two videos now?
Yeah, the really only one, the studio um, version of Perfumes and Fripperies. I mean, there was a couple other lyric videos and stuff, but we've just had the one that we did with Chariot of Black Moth. Um, that's a
Mhm.
produced video. So yeah, we hope to do a few more of those, um, as permitted as we go here.
Mhm. And I know that this new album is actually off Blaylock's Records, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Blaylock's Records. Okay. And if somebody wanted to get more information, I know you have a website, thewake.com, and you also have a
Right.
Bandcamp page, thewakeband.bandcamp.com.
Hmm.
If somebody wanted to get, purchase the record, is it out on vinyl as well?
No, it's not on vinyl yet.
Okay.
We hope to do that, but we'll see.
Yeah. So also a big shout out to Michelle Rowland from UTM Music Group as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's anything? What is up in the future for the Wake?
Well, right now we've just begun rehearsing again. We were finally able to get back together as a group.
Mhm.
So we've started that. We just had one yesterday that went well. Um, so that's encouraging. We just got to keep going with that, and we hope to, um, like I said, get a few more videos out, and then next year we'll be playing live.
Yeah, next year. Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's more promising next year. I
Yeah.
mean, people are doing it now
Hmm.
slowly.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easier proposition to do in the States here locally. But yeah, as far as out of country stuff, it's just really it's just not doable yet. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Sure.
I'm really congratulations on the new album too, and I really do
Yep,
like
thank
it.
you.
I mean, it's a great comeback, and it brings back a lot of memories. For such a great time when I don't know how you could categorize, gothic rock, or how would you
Right.
guys categorize the Wake?
Um, it's sort of, I mean, to me personally, it's a thing by itself. But I
Mhm.
mean, I've said before, I totally, embrace the goth label. Is I understand that, and I'm fine with that as a descriptor.
So
Um, Go ahead.
no, so I was gonna say this. The whole band lives in Ohio as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're in different cities,
oh.
somewhat, but yeah, we're all in Ohio.
How is there a goth scene in Hawaii? Is it a big scene?
No,
Oh,
no, especially not in our hometown. It's at least back in the day, it
hold on a
was
second here.
non-existent. Up at a technical.
One second here. Having some problems with my headset. All right, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah, I was just saying that there's not much of a goth scene
oh,
in Ohio, especially not in our hometown, Columbus.
no, that's amazing though. You guys came from there, and you guys were able to travel and do all those other things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, well, I'm super excited to play this interview, and thank you for joining me.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being my guest. Really appreciate it. Troy Payne. Okay, let me just so once again, thewake.com for more details. Also the wakeband.bandcamp.com for the album Perfumes and Fripperies. Thank you. Okay, one moment. Okay, let me just